Back to the grind with the only free MMA channel that fucking matters, Full-Time MMA. And Germaine de Randamie has returned to bantamweight. She's fighting Marion Reneau at UFC Fight Night 115. That is a card that will be headlined by Steven Struve versus Alexander Volkov. Other notable people on that card are Desmond Green, Rustam Kabalov, Marcus Rogero de Lima. There's some names I recognize, I'm familiar with, but the rest of the card is pretty thin. Brian Barberina is opening the card up. Okay, I see Brian Barberina versus Leon Edwards down there. So that'll be the fight night she returns to bantamweight on after moving down from featherweight, refusing to fight Cris Cyborg, being stripped of her featherweight championship she won in a controversial decision over Holly Holm. If you remember, a lot of people were mad at that decision because she was striking Holly Holm after the bell. She did it 2 or 3 times actually, and she ended up winning the decision. She won the belt, never defended her belt. Cris Cyborg was going to be her first opponent. She refused to fight a known and proven cheater, she said. So Dana White in the UFC stripped her of her championship. She moved back down to 135 pounds, where there's no chance of fighting Cris Cyborg. But this is one thing I'll say about Germaine de Randamie after doing a little bit of knowledge. She is undefeated in the UFC aside from one fight versus Amanda Nunes where she was TKO'd in the first round. But Amanda Nunes would probably do that to any of your favorite fighters. Like that one clown I was just responding to in the comments. I ain't even going to talk about that because I don't want to hurt his feelings. But Germaine de Randamie will be fighting against Marion Reneau. Who is Marion Reneau, you might be thinking? She is a fighter that had a split decision in her last fight versus Bethe Correia. I honestly, whenever I watched that fight, I was watching it when it was live. I had Marion Reneau winning that fight, but the judges gave a split decision to Bethe Correia, and that's what happened. Or not a split decision, I'm sorry, it was a draw, I believe. It was actually a draw. I had the fight for Marion, and I think they scored it a draw. Let me see real fast. I actually have her record pulled up. It was a draw, yeah, majority draw for Bethe Correia. I had Marion Reneau winning the fight. The judges scored it a draw. Before that, Marion Reneau was 1-2 in her last 2 fights in the UFC. But one thing about her is she's 40 years old, and that, you know, that could be a part of the factor. I mean, I don't honestly even know if that does play a factor into the judges at all. Like, if they're like, okay, she's not going to be fighting much longer, so we might as well give the edge to the fighter, you know, who's going to be around a little longer. Like, I've never even like thought about that, but I was just curious because I really thought she won that fight. And I didn't know her age until now, so I just seen that. It's probably irrelevant. It was just a side thought. But anyway, so yeah, they'll be fighting the Bruiser, Marion Reneau, versus the Iron Lady, Germaine de Randamie. That's the co-main event, so if that tells you anything about the card, it is a little thin. I believe Marion Reneau used to fight at 115 pounds, as she has a loss in her career. I'm sorry, a win in her career over Jessica Andrade. But I think Jessica Andrade might have just dropped down recently, so I'm not sure. But I will say Marion Reneau has a loss to Holly Holm. She did. She lost to Holly Holm in 2015. Then she went on to lose to Ashley Evans Smith before picking up a win over Milana Dedleva, someone I never heard of actually, but it was a TKO. Marion Reneau is 7-3. She's got 7 MMA wins, 4 of them by KO, 2 by submission, 1 by decision. Her only 3 losses have all come to decision. So she's never been finished, and she finishes girls. So maybe she can come out here and finish Germaine de Randamie. I know a lot of people would be excited to see that after her dodging Cyborg, moving down, getting stripped of the belt. A lot of people look at you. Now, if you want to talk about someone being a fucking coward, don't come at me with some Amanda Nunes shit before GDR, please. Don't ever come at me with that shit. Hey, y'all are going to make me more and more Amanda Nunes fan the more you motherfuckers keep hating on this girl. What the fuck? She's out here breaking bitches down. She pulled out of one motherfucking fight and you clowns are acting like she's a coward now? She's the fucking champion. Eat a dick. I don't give a fuck what you got to say in the comments, you fucking punk pussy ass trolls. What the fuck you mean, dude? Team Nunes, what the fuck you mean? And still. Yeah, that's what it is, dog. Somebody's had the nerve to say, she's never fought against a real fighter. Now she's going to. Dumbass, she already fought this same girl before. How has she never fought a real fighter and this is a fucking rematch? Clown. Then you, what, is Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey, they're not real fighters either, huh? No, you're just a fucking confused Bullet fan. That's what you are. You keep talking about her in third person. The Bullet will not lose. The Bullet is the greatest. You just underestimate the Bullet. That's why the Bullet will put a bullet in Nunes. Shut up, man. Amanda Nunes is about to break that bitch down while you talking, dude. And when I say bitch, I'm not talking about as calling her a bitch. I'm just talking about as a person before any you clowns say, how dare you call her a bitch? That's not what I'm saying, dude. That's just my motherfucking lingo sometimes. That word comes out. I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm not saying any of that crazy shit that you clowns are gonna take out of context. Oh my god, how dare you call a fighter a bitch? I'll call you a bitch, bitch. What the fuck you mean? I don't know you. It's not like I'm calling you a bitch. You see what I'm saying, dude. It is what it is. Fucking GDR's coming back. She dropped down to 135. She's ducking Cyborg. It's clear. She said Cyborg's a known and proven cheater. Cyborg's only been fucking busted cheating one time. The other time she got caught was therapeutic exemption. Didn't count. She been caught cheating once. There's a lot of fighters that have been caught cheating more than Chris Cyborg, and they don't get fucking the name steroids slapped on every time you hear Chris Cyborg. All you fucking hear is steroids, and this chick only got caught once. So how about we cut that shit out and we just call it for what it is? Before you ever come at me saying Amanda Nunes is a coward, you better preface that shit with who else is a coward. We come me calling the motherfucking champion and still. Shh. I got my fucking thumbs up like Amanda Nunes did in that fucking epic ass picture. Shh. You fucking clowns. I don't know what else to say, man. Fuck it. It is what it is. I think that's what the fuck you tell me in the comments. Dude. What is a 6.9? Another good thing ruined by a period.